You're welcome to KBM Sports Talks. I'm Kevin, and today we got a video on the American Conference, but one team specifically in the American Conference in college football: the Houston Cougars. Well, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join the KBM Sports Talk family by hitting that subscribe button, and let's get into the video. Houston. The American Conference, we all know, has Cincinnati, has UCF. We all know they have Memphis. They have a great... American Conference is a really great conference. They always have teams that are coming out in the group of fives. So, who is going to win it this year? Will it be Cincinnati? Will it be UCF? Will it be Memphis? Will it be Houston? A lot of people are saying Cincy's going to win it again. Well, I don't really think so. I think that Houston is going to win it. The reasons are, the first reason is because on offense, they returned 6 of their starters from last year. And they included in their top 3 performers on offense last year. Their quarterback, Clayton Tune, who had 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and 3,544 yards last year. He's returning, and I expect him to have another amazing season, especially because his wide receiving core is phenomenal. He's got in return Nathaniel Dell, who had 12 TDs last year, 1,329 yards in receiving. That's crazy. And his dynamic duo of the receiving core, Keyshawn Carter, who has been an amazing player for the Cougars. And Nathaniel Dell and him are one of the best duos in college football for wide receiving core. And then they also added Matthew Golden, who is a 4-star wide receiver, one of the best prospects in Houston history that they got. And then they went crazy in the transfer portal. Picked up 3 or 4 wide receivers in the transfer portal. So their wide receiving core is amazing. And it is set for Tune to have an amazing year. And a lot of pressure in way is going to be on Tune because their star freshman running back that is going through a sophomore season, Alton McCaskill, tore his ACL in spring practice. Obviously, that is not something that you want to see from a very young, talented star, but now all the pressure is on Keyshawn Henry at running back, who had 524 yards last year and 7 TDs, which is really good. But a lot of weight is going to be on his shoulders. And will he be able to perform? I think that's going to be very interesting to see. And they did on their offensive line, they only returned 2 of their starters, right guard Tank Jenkins and left tackle Patrick Paul, who is only a sophomore, and Tank Jenkins is a junior. And their center, Jack Freeman, had a great spring practice session. He did great, they say, in the spring. So their O-line they're supposedly going to be really good, especially with the inexperience on their O-line. That's the only problem that I'm seeing with Houston is that O-line on offense. Will it be able to perform? Because it's going to be very young. But they have left tackle and right guard who have experience. That is something that I am looking to see. But I think that they will perform well. I think that this offense will be more of a passing offense. A lot more passing than it was running because McCaskill is injured. And I think Henry is a great running back, but I think that they will rely more on Tune to throw the ball. And with that wide receiving core, it's just disgusting. I think it's probably one of the best top 5 wide receiver cores in the country. And I know that is a hot take. A lot of people are going to be like, wow. But I just think so. By performance and talent, they are very underrated with their wide receiver core. But then another reason is their defense. their defensive line's nickname is Sack Avenue. Why? Because their defensive line had 34.5 sacks last year, and they returned their D-line. They returned their stars. The thing is, the Houston's defense has always been amazing. They were ranked 6th nationally overall last year for defense. 301.2 yards per game they allowed, and their lowest ranking on defense was 19th, and it was in scoring, where they allowed 20.4 points per game. So they were top 20 in all defensive categories last year, and that's scary to say that they returned a great amount of what they had on defense last year. They did lose their cornerbacks, Marcus Jones and Damarian Williams, who were both drafted in the NFL draft. So, what goes from there? Well, Alex Hogan and Art Green came out of spring as starters and looked amazing in the spring. So, it seems like they're pretty set with cornerbacks. But that's the only thing that goes like with their O-line. They are inexperienced in the with cornerbacks, which is a huge part of defense. But their linebacker, Donovan Mutton, leading tackle last year, had 77 tackles last year, is also returning. So they have a great defense, and I think that you're going to see Sack Avenue return this year and have another amazing season with getting to the quarterback. And I think that this team all around is just well balanced with inexperience and experience, with talent and future talent. I think that Houston has a very great chance to be the Power 5 team that comes out and was like Cincinnati last year. Why I say that is they have a pretty challenging couple games. UTSA right off the bat, September 3rd, at UTSA, not at home. They start at UTSA and at Texas Tech. Those are two very challenging games that will show if Houston is really true. If they lose one of the games, which I think they will lose to Texas Tech, but I can see them beating Texas Tech. I would say that I think they are going to go 12-1 with their schedule. They have Kansas after that. I think that's going to be an easy win for Houston. Then they play Rice, Tulane. Then they play at Memphis, at Navy, South Florida, at SMU, Temple, at ECU, and Tulsa. They have a pretty easy schedule, but the first two games are the challenging. Will challenge them, and it will set their season up. They could beat UTSA. Then I think they will have a really good year. But I think that they will lose to Texas Tech. But I think that there is a chance that they can beat Texas Tech. And if they beat Texas Tech, I see them going 13-0 in the regular season. And that is something to say because Houston is set up to have an amazing year. I think they will face Cincinnati in the American Conference Championship. And I think they will beat Cincinnati in the American Conference Championship. I think that American is set to see Cincinnati and Houston on a collision course to face each other. I just really think that Houston is going to be the underdog that nobody really is talking about, and I think Houston will have an amazing season and win the American and put themselves back on the map. And that is my hot take on Houston. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys think that Houston is what all stacked up to be? Or do you think that they're just going to flop? What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments down below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. And until next time, see ya.